Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our first edition of Saturday Morning Coffee in the year 2020. Hope everybody is going to have a happy and healthy new year. Let's get this year started right. Again, for you guys are joining me, thank you for joining me live in the living color. The last couple of weeks that I haven't posted seemed like it's been an eternity for me, so I hope you guys missed this platform as much as I did. Um, and like I said, happy and healthy new year to all my viewers, all my followers, my whole pack. I appreciate you guys being here every week with me. And with that being said, we're going to just jump right into it. Remember, if you're watching me now live and in living color, please put your comments down. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. And if you're watching later on in the replay, you can also do that as well. So it's been a few weeks since I posted. We missed Christmas because it was a Saturday and New Year's because it was a Saturday. But I did get an interesting message from somebody who is an avid watcher of the show, and they had a question, and I'm going to kind of hit this because I think it's real important for you guys to understand. We talk a lot about disciplining your dog, and we talk about a lot of the saying no and doing corrective measures and things like that. But what I really want to hit on more now is the follow through for the state of mind that I always talk about. So basically, the question I got is they're fostering a dog that has been in its third. I think they're the third foster home that the dog's been in a very short period of window. So one, the dog is extremely confused, which I feel bad for all these dogs that get bounced around from place to place to place. But it sounds like this foster really wants to try to do the right thing. The dog seems to get along good with her husband, her daughter, but for some reason it doesn't get along with her two older sons. And it's usually in the same situation. Dog is on the couch, on next to somebody or on somebody's lap. Boys walk into the room. The dog starts growling. If they get too close, the dog goes for a nip, grabs the clothing, rips clothing. It becomes an expensive proposition. Guys, first of all, if a dog is growling, it's communicating. Doesn't mean it's aggression. It doesn't mean it's communication. I'm not comfortable in this situation. And the biggest mistake is because we want these dogs to feel comfortable, and based on the messaging I got from the young lady, her sons want to be part of this dog's pack. They want the dog to be part of their pack. So the normal routine is we walk over to them, even though they're growling, they're giving us that warning, and we're like, "It's okay, we love you," whatever. We have the whole human conversation. The big thing is, one, if dog starts growling, figure out, stop the process right there. Why is the dog growling? I hate the question why. It's a dumb question. But the dog is telling us something, and it's our job to figure out what it's telling us. Most of the time, when you're in a situation like what I'm discussing now, it's the dog is uncomfortable for whatever reason with the approach of her sons. Don't know why, don't care why. It's an unacceptable behavior. So my suggestion was put the dog on a leash on the couch, and when the sons walk in, if the dog growls, firm pop of the leash. No, the dog has to get off the couch. And when I say that, that doesn't mean you pick the dog up physically and you put it to the floor. You give it a command, off, down, whatever command you're going to use, and you use the leash to guide the dog off the couch. The reason you want the leash on the dog is because now all of a sudden the dog's losing some of its comfort zone and it may go into flight mode. And if it's in flight mode, it's too hard to correct the behavior. Then the next step is if it continues to growl, of course, you're going to repeat the command and then follow through. Guys, one of the most important things, and I don't think I talk about it nearly as much as I should, is the follow through to get to the state of mind that we want the dog to be in. And in this case, we want the dog to be in a calm state of mind when the boys come into the room. The biggest problem is as what we look for is the stopping of the action. Okay, we corrected the dog's stopped growling. Okay, that's great. That's a part of what we're trying to accomplish. But the next part is the follow through to get to the state of mind. And that's the hardest part. That can take the longest time too, because we want to give them back something when the state of mind is in a good state of mind. So in this case, when the dog is off the couch, not growling, and actually looks relaxed, calm, sitting, not focused on the boys, maybe even laying down, hopefully laying down. Then we can praise, good, and invite the dog back up on the couch at that point. Because you disagreed with the growling, disagreed where it growled from, and then when it was in the right state of mind, we agree. We said we appreciate you going to the state of mind. Now you come back up. Oh, excuse me, and then repeat the process of the boys coming back into the room and start the process over and repeat as necessary. It sounds like a prescription. Repeat as needed until the dog understands. Every time I do I get that correction with that sound no or nope. I get taken off my perch and I get allowed back on when I'm calm. So why don't I just stay calm in this state of mind? And I get the praise and I get the affection. And I get everything as the reward for the positive reinforcement. Doesn't always have to be food motivated. It could be your energy, because when the dog is doing good, you're happy. And we talk about energy all the time on this platform. And it's real important. So it's great we stop the unwanted behavior. That's phenomenal. We stop the unwanted behavior. But the next important part of that stopping the unwanted behavior is to get through to the state of mind that you want, because that's what you want to praise. That's what you want to reward. So if you're going to use treats and you're going to be that positive reward person, still go after the state of mind. If the dog's in an unsure state of mind, an excited state of mind, an aggressive state of mind, don't give affection or treats in that state of mind. Wait till you get to the state of mind that you want and reward the crap out of that state of mind, so the dog understands, oh, this is so much better. When I do this, I get this. When I do this, I get this. And it's a much, much better way of communicating with your dog. And you don't need the verbal. You don't need all that. Your energy is going to be the key communicator. You all know I talk about that. So it's really, really important. Stop the unwanted behavior. The motion is great, but that doesn't stop the training process. The training process stops when we get to the state of mind we want. So if that makes sense, guys, shoot in the comments. Let me know. I'm not seeing any comments coming by, so I don't know who's watching, who's here. So nobody's saying hi to me. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next thing. 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, that was the last time I broadcasted, I mentioned a mistake that my dog Zoe made. And a lot of people, I got a lot of positive feedback. Good morning, Michelle and Athena. Happy New Year. I mentioned something, my dog made a mistake, and I got a lot of positive feedback on it because people were really appreciative to hear that, me as the trainer, my dog had an unwanted, good morning, Renee, had an unwanted behavior. And the case was, was walking her off leash in our complex here. She saw a cat. She took off. She didn't listen to my verbal commands at all. What I was trying to drive home at that point was that when I finally got her attention and she came back to me without me saying a word, she knew she had made a mistake. And how did she show me she made the mistake? She came down, she got about a foot and a half in front of me, literally laid down and gave me her belly. She submitted to me. She knew I was not happy. I didn't have to yell at her. I didn't have to scream at her. I didn't have to hit her, kick her, or any of that crap. She knew by my energy. And then when I saw from that stiff submission to the relaxed submission, because again, I go after the state of mind, and there is a huge difference. Body language communicates a lot too. When she was first submitted, she was very stiff. She was very unsure because she knew I wasn't happy. But eventually, you see that top arm, if she's laying on her side, it's up, and then you see that top leg slowly go down, and then she was like this. Then I released her and gave her command, praised her for understanding she made a mistake, submitting to me without me saying a word or touching. I didn't grab her by the neck or anything. And then the rest of our walk back, she was actually better than she usually was, which was phenomenal. And I think I even told you guys the next day my wife walked her on leash, and she even commented how much better she was on leash. Here's what I want to tell you. Now, that was an exercise, unplanned for. Couldn't come up with there was going to be a cat on the other side of the fence. A few days later, I took her back to the same place. Sure enough, that same cat was in almost the exact same spot. And I saw Zoe's focus go towards the cat. Now she heard my verbal. Nope. I didn't say leave it. I didn't say anything. I said nope. And what I was saying nope is that intense focus on the cat. Um, by doing that, what I told her is, I don't want you focusing on that cat. So I said, nope. She looked at me for guidance, and I said, let's go. And we just went about our walk, and she totally ignored the cat. So she made a mistake. And it was, like I said, every mistake to me is a teaching opportunity, and she learned from it. And we had a very successful walk off leash. Um, Not saying her prey drive is 100% gone, because I can take her out later on today and it can happen again, and then we'll rework it. That's the simple fact of it. But it's real important you guys hear, this is real life. There's no, I don't hold back on anything. I'm as transparent can be. So that's even with my personal dog. Um, so don't give up is what I'm trying to say, guys. Even my dog, who I've worked with very hard, she's 8 years old. I've worked with her very hard for 8 years. She does have some unwanted behavior sometimes. She does make mistakes, as we do as humans. And those mistakes, to me, are not the end of the world. It was a safe, controlled environment. It wasn't near a road. It wasn't where I had to, she's not going to go too far from me. Um, but I also trust my dog a lot, even though she made that mistake. So that was really good. Another thing that happened over the holiday break, my holiday break on the live, is I had the privilege of babysitting my grand dog, Brody, the red-nosed pit bull. Brody's a great dog. Definitely gives, is that typical pit bull that we all know and love, the cuddler, the snuggler, loves attention, loves cuddling with humans, just overly excited when he sees another dog. And he doesn't go crazy like you see a lot of dogs do, but he has this obsessive whine if he hears a dog barking, if he sees a dog, whatever. We could be in the apartment, he'd hear a dog barking out in the courtyard, he'd start with this whining nonsense. So I worked with it because, one, it was annoying, and two, it's not a good state of mind. I mean, if you, again, using Zoe as an example, dogs bark all day here. She doesn't react to it because she knows she's not allowed to. We walk when we go on our walks. Dogs bark at her. She's not allowed to react to it. But this is over years of conditioning. So with Brody in the apartment, I decided we're going to correct this because it was driving me nuts. And we have a lot of dogs in this complex, and they bark and they make noise, and he hears people outside, and he got it so quick. All I'd have to do is say nope, no matter where he was, and you'd hear that silence. And then a couple seconds later, it'd start again, nope. And if it continued a third time, if he was saying in my bedroom or whatever, I'd get up from the living room, I'd come in, and now I'd follow through. And then waited, and then once I knew his state of mind is more focused on what I'm asking for, and he's in a calm state of mind, I praised him and I walked away. So it's never too late. Brody's 3 years old, I guess. I'm not sure about his exact age, but the takeaway here is it can be done. And then on the walks, we'd walk. There'd be other people walking, constantly looking over his shoulder. I mean, it was an annoying walk. And if anybody knows me, and any of you that know me, I enjoy the walks with the dogs. When it's annoying, it means we have to do something. When I was walking them, simple slip leash. Most of the time, it was one finger holding the leash. He does really good. Am I going to take him off leash? No, he's not at that stage of his life yet. But for the most part, we had off leash experiences until we saw another dog. And I corrected him. And eventually, the last day he was here, we were actually able to walk around almost the whole entire complex with other dogs out, and I got no reaction. But the key is one, every time he whined, he got corrected because I don't like the whining. Two, every time he looked over his shoulder to see where the other dog was, he got corrected. And we only moved forward on our walk. So the walk around the pool area here should take me no more than 10 minutes. One day it took me almost an hour because we had to stop, refocus him, get him on me, calmer state of mind. We continued to walk. Happened again, and we did the process that I tell everybody else they have to do. And unlike most people, I didn't say, well, normally this takes me 10, 15 minutes, and now it's taking me an hour, and I'm frustrated. What the hell? This is ridiculous. No, because it was, to me, it's those teaching opportunities. It's for me to teach the dog that this is unacceptable. My kids should be able to walk Brody around the neighborhood, around other dogs, and not have to deal with this nonsense. Now, they have to follow through. Otherwise, everything I did is useless. Um, but it works. And it works very well if you take the time and you check your own egos at the door, you check your energy at the door. Because, like, you guys all know I say this constantly, that the energy is the most important form of communication. So, no matter what Brody did or does when I'm with him, I don't get angry. I don't get frustrated. I don't go through the gamut of human emotions. I stay calm. He gets it. My daughter always asks. She doesn't understand how I can walk him on a slip leash. Well, because he knows he's not going to get away with pulling me or trying to do anything. I don't need any other tools to do it. She's getting there. She's getting much better, but she's got to get there with him. And same with my son-in-law. Um, he's a very, very good walker. He walks very well. He plays well with other dogs. He's an exception, but he does, like any other dog, he'll take advantage of and that's what he does to them. He takes advantage of the weaker energy that they're not going to discipline him as consistently as often as I do when he has an unwanted behavior. So he takes advantage of it to see what he can get. It's like any other kid. If you can take advantage of one or two parents, you're going to push the limits to see how far you can go. And dogs do the same thing. So, here's some real life scenarios that with the right time, with the patience, with checking my ego at the door and keeping my energy in check, these issues. One with my own dog, one with my grand dog, the one on the couch. I don't know the end result. I'm hoping she's watching live today and let me know how it worked with some of the tips I gave her. But again, I don't see any questions coming around, guys. So, this may be a very short live. I base this on the questions coming in. But it's been a good 2 weeks. Done a lot of research on different things, guys. Trying to broaden my horizons here. Looking to get into a facility so we can really do some hardcore training here, back to basics dog training. Anytime, once I get a facility, any of my training sessions and all my training sessions will be recorded and put out there on the world of YouTube and Facebook, so you guys can see real life situations. Once I get the release from the human parents that we can do this, hopefully do the intake interview, and so you guys can hear some of the issues people are having. And we're going to work on giving you more and more techniques to help you and your dog have the happy, balanced life together that you guys want. So, like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of questions. If there's any subjects you guys want me to talk about, be it leash reactivity, greeting at the front door. I know we talked about that a lot before the holidays. So anybody who tried doing some of the exercises that we talked about with the, inviting guests in during the holidays, let me know how it worked for you. If there's any questions, I know Athena, Michelle, you've been working with Athena. Things are going well, I hope. I definitely want to make another trip up to Long Island soon, but you guys have that white fluffy stuff up there, and I really don't want to deal with that right now. But, so if you have questions about leash reactivity, it could be an aggression issue, it could be resource guarding, it could be guarding a human. Dogs guard specific humans in the pack, and we have to know, and that was how I started off today's chat. About guarding a human. Really, what that dog was doing was guarding the mom. He'd been trying to teach Athena how to use a scratch pad because she doesn't let you cut her nails. I've never used a scratch pad, so it'd be hard for me to tell you what to do. I'd have to do some research on it, which I will do today. The big thing with me, again, cutting a dog's nails, some dogs don't like it. One, they can be desensitized to it. I would definitely take her paws and file them on the pad. If she accepts it, but the filing can take forever. One of the things, I know she's muzzle conditioned, is you can desensitize her to the clipper, the nail cutters. But it's a long, drawn-out process. I've done it with other dogs, and since she's muzzle conditioned, your energy should change because she can't bite you. She may fight with you, but what you want to do is, one, Just bring the clippers out, pet her with them, let her smell the nail cutters. Don't put them right on the paw. Work your way down the leg with them, petting her with so these things are now being associated differently. And then a lot of times, what I'll do is I will stop at the nail with it, not do anything, and I'll hold her paw, and as long as she isn't pulling away and trying to fight you, as soon as she relaxes a little bit, take the clipper away. Good girl, praise her, give her treats because I know she's food motivated. And then you start the process over, you pet her, and then you put the clipper over the nail, but don't cut. And again, once she stops the nonsense, take the clipper away, praise her, treat her. And eventually you're just going to take the clipper and put pressure on the nail, but don't cut. Don't cut. Just put pressure, she stops fighting, take it away, and eventually you just go to take the tip. And then when she does praise, you may only get one nail done. It may take you a week, but it's a process. I've done this with dogs before. Biggest mistake I ever made once is I had the dog sitting on my lap doing it, and they released their anal glands, which was kind of horrible. But it does work. It's desensitizing them. There's no reason for them to be afraid of the nail cutter. The other thing is the quicker you can get mastering the walking, get her out on the concrete, get her out on the blacktop, that will naturally file them down. So that can go a long way. Maybe take her in a car. I mean, it's wintertime. I know the snow on the ground right now up there. If you can find a tennis court that nobody's using that has gates everywhere, bring her to a tennis court. Let her run around on the tennis court. We cut low once, and now she's afraid. Yeah, I've seen that before. What happens is when we cut low and we cut the quip, we feel bad. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Oh my God, my good baby. But. And they read that energy and they become, so you got to desensitize her. It works. It just takes time. If you were able to successfully cut her nails, it'll work again. I've had it with my own personal dogs. Somebody cut the nails the nail too short, hit the quip. Everybody made a big deal out of it. I had to resensitize my dogs. It takes some time, but it will work. Food is a great motivation for that, especially for a scared dog. Renee asks, what's the best way to stop a puppy bite? Stop puppy biting. Okay, so puppy biting is definitely excitement, guys. It's not aggression, or very rarely aggression. It's what puppies do. How do you stop it? One, don't let the puppy get excited on their own. I say this all the time. The biggest mistake we do, because they're cute, they're puppies, is we let them get excited on their own. Excuse me. So one thing I tell you, if a puppy starts trying to play with me when I don't want to play, or making the decision to play with me, I don't allow it. I will initiate the play with the puppies because it's important we play with our puppies. And of course, they're going to use their mouth. And what you have to do is when they bite and it gets to that point where it's a little too hard, nope, stop the play, bring them all the way back down to calm. Now, sometimes you may have to hold them by the neck a little bit, but not hold them by the neck. Hold them just enough to restrain them. So if they're at a level 3 or 4 of excitement, you may have to hold it at 4 or 5. And then as they calm down, relax you. And when they're 100% calm, you praise them. So they learn that, okay, when I get to this level of play, I get some sort of discipline. And if you watch them with other dogs, adult dogs, when the puppies are playing and they get a little too rough and they bite the ear too much, they get that. That's the correction. Now, you could use a touch on the dog. I prefer people not doing it because they don't know how to do it right. But what I tell people to do, one, don't let the dog get excited on its own because it will get in trouble. 2, you control the excitement. So when you're ready to play with the dog, you play with the dog, get it up to whatever level you feel comfortable with, end the play, bring them all the way back calm before play is over, praise, and then end it when their mind is calm. A lot of people with this biting puppy behavior, what they do is out and they stop the behavior, but the mind's still in play and they think the human thinks it's over, but it's in the puppy's mind, it's not, because their mind is still, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. And we're like, okay, well, you stopped the biting, good. I walk away, and then they chase you to break the back of your ankles or whatever, because the state of mind is not what you want. You stop the unwanted behavior, but you didn't stop the mind from escalating. We control the mind, we control everything else. So it's real important. Puppy bites, it's normal. You're allowed to disagree with it. Another dog would disagree with it. we have to learn how to do that. So I hope that helped. John asks, how can I stop my dog from pulling on the leash? I know he gets too excited when we walk. For a while, he'll be okay, walk nice. I'm handicapped, so I have to be careful. Also, he used to let me cut his nails, but now he won't. Okay, so you may have had the same situation as Michelle, where somebody cut his nails and maybe hurt him, hit the quip or whatever. Um, but again, his state of mind, he's excited on the walk. You're being handicapped, you got to be very careful. John, I don't know how much you've watched any of my lives before. I do recommend going to my YouTube channel at Back to Basics Dog Training on YouTube. Subscribe, please. I need more subscribers if you haven't already. I have a playlist on how to leash train your dog, which is really mastering the walk. And it's all about talking about how to do the walk in a calm way from the time you take the leash out. You have to start the process of calm on the walk before you get out the door. So my Master of the Walk, How to Leash Train Your Dog playlist is broken up to 5 different episodes, and it really goes through rewarding the state of calm in order to do the walk. And you should have to do a very structured walk. The walk is not about always peeing and pooping and smelling and doing all that. There's points for that, but most of it should be about structure and leadership, which is a bond for the dog, and it's a great way to show the leadership that the dog needs you to be. But it's real important to start it. If your dog gets excited when you take the leash out to go for a walk, don't put the leash on the dog. You're rewarding the excitement. If the dog gets excited because you open up the front door to start the process of the walk and bolts out, you can't walk the dog. It's too excited. Everything has to be based on calm. And if you can get through, episode 1, which is putting the leash on the dog in a calm state of mind, episode 2, threshold management, which again, I say is the most important video I think I've ever put out there. Threshold management teaches the dog 2 things. Front door open doesn't mean out, and you're not allowed to go out of it excited. If you can get through that threshold with your dog in a calm state of mind, and when I say calm state of mind, I'm talking almost, you can't have zero calm because they're asleep, but almost zero calm, where they walk out that door like ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you can control that, then any of the outside stimulus is on your walk. Their mind is slower, so it doesn't get as high as quick, and you can make adjustments for it as you go along. So I really do suggest watching, John, watching my YouTube videos. I will link on the Facebook pages after we go live and after it uploads and all that stuff. I'll put the links in the comments to my YouTube channel, to that playlist if you want. That may make it a little easier. Same thing if your dog used to allow you to cut the nails, start the process over again, do it slower. And check your energy, because if your energy is nervous about cutting your dog's nails, they're going to read it all over you. I had to learn it the hard way. I was always very good at cutting my dog's nails. I've always had dogs that had those clear nails so I can see the quip. And then Zoe has the black nails, and I don't know where the quip is. I'm not a groomer. I'm not a vet. I'm a freaking dog trainer. And I was very, very hesitant to cut her nails because I couldn't see the quip, and the last thing I want to do is hurt her. And she sensed that, and she did not trust me to cut her nails. Guys, it was beautiful to watch, but it was like a reality check for me. So now I can cut her nails. I know how to tip them. My energy is so much better. She trusts me 125%, and she knows I'm not going to do anything to hurt her. So it's just a matter of desensitizing her to it. Will do. Got you watched it now, and thank you. Happy New Year, John. My pleasure. Let me know how it goes for you. I always ask for feedback on this platform. I get it sometimes, not as often as I would like. Andrea says, loving all you said so far. It actually working on my walks with Garrison. Beautiful. That's what I'm living for. If it's working, I'm happy. Of course, guys, if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. I always say the best way to do it is Facebook message me on Back to Basics Dog Training. You can always reach out to me via text me at my cell number, 631-514-9128. Email me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. I can always do more follow-ups with you guys at any given time. It's been a little crazy for me the last couple of months, last month or so. So I haven't been as diligent as getting to things. Things are changing. It's 2022, 2021 is in our rearview mirrors now. So now we move forward. We don't live in the past. So I'm hoping, guys, this is a great platform for you guys. And again, like I said, this is something I put out there free, no charge to anybody. So all I ask in return is please, please, please share this with your friends and relatives and fellow dog lovers around the country and around the world. The more viewers we get, the more questions we get, the more questions we get, the more people we can help. And you'd be surprised sometimes, I hear the comments that, oh my God, I was watching your live and, so and so asked a question. I had the same thing and I didn't realize it was an issue until I heard it. So that's why it's important to get more and more people onto this platform so we can get more and more questions. If we last an hour, if the show goes half hour, that's fine. If it goes an hour, it's fine. If it goes an hour and a half, I'm fine. I'll just keep answering questions. I don't know if you guys realize this. I kind of like talking. So with that being said, guys, if there's no other questions, we are going to wrap it up. Please type your email address here. Thanks. I will put my email address in the comments as well. So I'll post on the comments on both Back to Basics pages and Remember Me Rescues pages. I'll put the link to my YouTube channel. You guys can find the playlist yourself. All I do again ask you to subscribe. I need subscribers on there. And I'll put my email address in the comments as well. So there'll be 2 different comments coming out, and we'll try to text them, or text me at 585. Okay, I'll text you when we're done here. I'll text you all my info. I'll send you a link to my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, and I'll give you my email address all in a text format. And you can definitely feel free to get in touch with me any way possible. Just keep in mind, if I'm in a session, I don't answer things right away. If I'm not, I definitely will get to it. But with that being said, guys, if there is no other questions, we're going to wrap it up for the weekend. We'll be here again next Saturday, live and in living color at 11 o'clock for Coffee with Dog Training. So with that being said, guys, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and once again, happy and healthy New Year.